Hey guys, so to give some backstory as to why I'm making this video, I hit platinum in ones yesterday. I know this is a very small achievement and there is still a lot left to go in the ranks until, my rank is somewhat impressive. But I was actually really happy about this since one was one of the 4 standard competitive game modes, other than solo standard because who cares about that, which I didn't hit plat in last season. I also felt like it was cool because it's kind of the halfway point, or at least was before GC123 was a thing, in the Rocket League ladder. So I guess I'm top 50% now, so I'm above average I guess. And according to numbers earlier this year, I'm top 20% for being plat in ones. I know this has been changed thanks to the influx of players from the free-to-play launch, but I still think that this percentage is pretty cool. So I will now in this video look back at my first bunch of Rocket League videos, all from 2017, and I guess critique my gameplay and compare my progress, not only from video to video, but also at the end, look at how I've progressed from then until now. So yeah, let's go.
Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Larzz here, back with a brand new video, and today I am making a Rocket League video.
This video might be one of the most painful, but at the same time accidentally funny videos I've ever made on my channel, with the title being I Suck, and it being bombarded with self-deprecating comments throughout the video.
I am terrible at this game, okay? Yeah, I'm quite bad. I suck at this game. I'm so bad. That's what happens when you're bad, kids.
There are a few things to comment on with my gameplay. My camera shake was still on, I didn't know how to toggle ball cam, I didn't power slide, I just couldn't hit the ball in general. I think this was overall summed up though in my lack of ball cam, since I obviously couldn't tell where the ball was, and that really heavily restricted myself. So just watching the gameplay, you can tell that there isn't much I could have done since I didn't know where the ball was half the time. When it comes to the commentary of this video though, that is golden.
And by this point I did not know how to boost, so... Or did I? I do not remember if I had learned by then how to boost.
Pull up in the gold, I'm leading. But them other man need feeding. I don't want to go bomb them. I don't know what I do when I go from wheeling. Leading the pack in black and I'm on with a bat. Snapping with a phone and dab. Boss up a man with a duster. Put him in the drip and sip blockbuster.
This video was the first of few Rocket League montages in this bunch, meaning it's of course played with copyrighted music, so I can't use any audio from the video. I showed some better plays in this video, although keep in mind that this was a montage, meaning it's basically a highlight reel and showing the best moments as opposed to raw gameplay, which the last video was. Still had a camera shake on and my plays were still looking quite accidental, and I looked less like I was trying to play the game and more like I had been given half a controller and was blindfolded. However, there are a few improvements with this half of a controller. Since I toggled ball cam, I managed to hit the ball and get some power on it. I flipped and my positioning wasn't terrible, to be fair. There are a few visuals to comment on though. Firstly, the choice of car. At least I used the Octane in the last video. I used Dominus in a few clips in this one, which is fair enough. After researching a bit, because I fully forgot, the car I used for the rest of this video was Zippy, which was apparently a DLC car. So I guess I got it from the trade, I don't know how. Also the wheels, I had Zombas. Why on earth did I decide to trade them? I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing it was a scammer. I'm pretty sure it was a scammer, or I was just being dumb. This reminds me of, the time traveler meme. I'm assuming you guys all know that because you're under the age of 83. I would write, no Larzz, don't trade those wheels that will never bring any value to your life. Anyways, the other visual I noticed was my camera settings. It's fair enough that they weren't great since I was still quite new. However, it needs to be said that my distance and FOV should be increased, at least. Overall though, there is some decent improvement from the last video, and I can see that I am not just being consistently terrible. I'm just terrible now.
Clean. Man, I'm feeling mean. Billy Jean with the lean. Dancing on the green.
This video was the first of a 4-part series and another kind of montage compilation. But before I even begin critiquing my gameplay, I just want to read out the first line of the description of this video. So it says, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button. If you didn't, then drink bleach. Not gonna lie, I didn't really enjoy this video now looking back at it, so... I see how I tried to be funny, but like that's straight up threatening people to enjoy the video. Alright, the gameplay. My car is still the same and my camera settings haven't changed. However, it does seem like my plays are a bit more controlled and thought through, but still nowhere near as much as they should be. It seems like I was better at controlling my car as well, since I managed to get some decent hits after being at supersonic speed, which isn't the easiest if you're like a day one, so this just shows that I'm better than a day one, I guess. Camera shake is off as well, and I returned to the octane for most clips, so overall there was some improvement from last video, but again, not much. I was still quite bad.
Yeah, they can't hold us back, we on another level. Yeah, it's that new age, ain't it something special? Yeah, we gon' change the game, we gon' live forever. Yeah, it's that new age, it's that new age.
In this video I displayed a lot more car and ball control with a few aerials and dribbles, so one thing I would have maybe expected by this time was maybe starting to use air rolls, but I don't even think I bound air roll right and left, or even the default one, to anything until 2019 or 20, so obviously I couldn't do that. My camera settings were also not great, but I don't think there's much else to comment on from these short clips, other than the fact that I thought that these clips were compilation worthy, even though many of them were just standard shots and saves, or would be for me today at least. So the fact that these have made like a highlight reel really says a lot about the level I was at. I did notice I switched between the Dominus and Octane, which is fair enough since I was still quite new and trying to discover my preference with the car choice. My final comment is though, the video was released in Season 4. In Season 4, my final 1's MMR was -9 according to Rocket League Tracker. I don't know, I just found that funny how far I've come from -9 MMR to being over 0. I mean, that's truly inspirational if you ask me.
She wanna know my real name. She getting way too comfortable. Yeah. Now she wanna wear my chain. I'm feeling way too vulnerable.
This video shows a bit more gameplay since it wasn't just highlights and it was, you know, a full game basically. Also, since this is in Rumble, it's a bit harder to judge my skill from this. I guess the fact that I scored all my team's 4 goals says something, but again, it's hard to tell from these clips, especially since it's just small highlights of the game in replay. I used the Dominus GT, so I guess I hadn't decided on my main car yet, or my main car at the time was Dominus, I don't know. Overall, I can't really say much, but it seems like my shooting and ball control improved from a few snippets, but I didn't see much improvement elsewhere.
Bow down to me, self-doubt has been drowning me. I've been doubting me, been blind but now I see, cause I can't let the world miss out on me. Nah, too special, too hungry for more. Been loyal, been ready for war. Been patient, been waiting.
In my opinion, this video showed a lot of improvement from the last few montages, with this one almost exclusively consisting of clips including aerials. One thing I would improve with the aerials though is that I seem to never ever flip for them. I only jumped and went for the hit, and this made them a lot weaker, especially the lower aerials. I could have flipped for them and made them a lot more powerful, which would have made them harder to save. I did seem to have some control in the aerials though, showing improvement in car control, which could be thanks to my new camera settings. However, I made a few decisions I don't think I would have made today. For example, in one clip where I went for an assist instead of a shot, and in some way I guess cut off my rotation as well, since I basically did a full 180 before I made the assist. Finally, I noticed in one of the clips that I had very basic kickoff, although this is something I'm still working on. I thought it was worth noting. Overall, this is where I think I started to improve a lot, and especially mechanically. And this is where some of my potential started to appear, and it showed that I was actually improving at the game, and there was some progress.
Yeah, I stole for protein, I pimped out my whole team. Started from 18, been chopping up in that guillotine.
Since this video isn't a montage, I can finally analyze the gameplay a bit more, while judging my voice, lighting, and what I looked like 3 years ago. The first thing you notice is I was bronze 3 in 1s and 2s, and silver in 3s, showing I was probably getting carried and still only got to silver, which is not great. In terms of gameplay, I guess I was alright, not great, but also had a few moments where I showed I was decent, for example, some of my saves. I flipped a few times when I shouldn't have, and vice versa. I seem to ball chase quite a bit. I overcommitted way too much, which to be fair is something I'm still trying to work on and reduce in my gameplay. I was also on ball cam way too much, since I could have had more awareness over my surroundings if I just used the joystick or would have turned off ball cam. And as mentioned earlier, I still hadn't started air rolling, which I think severely slowed my progression and improvement. The final thing I want to touch on was with the few wall plays I had, I feel like I jumped way too late for them. Although I was impressed that I managed to get this many plays off the wall, I think I would have now especially jumped a lot earlier and flipped further to make the ball go further, so I could start a counterattack or clear the ball further or quicker. This game didn't really show much improvement from the previous montage, but I did show a few areas where I seemed mechanically better than I personally now expected. For example, with the saves and amount of wall hits as mentioned earlier, but there were still very many basics I could have improved on.
Yeah, I roll the dice, see where life takes me. I've been feeling down on these nights lately, but I know that I got so much to give. Never forget, but I can learn to forgive.
This video belongs to the series of the other three, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, I didn't put the number 4 after it. This was the final Rocket League video I posted until April this year, so this is the last video I will be reviewing. Just remember, I will be much worse than I am now, but it will be very interesting to look back at it in terms of the videos that I've watched so far. This is probably the largest improvement between any 2 videos of mine yet. My aerials were decent, everything I did seemed a lot more controlled, and I even had a nice bounce dribble in there. There were also a few decent saves, however most of those seemed more lucky and accidental and less like they were on purpose and calculated. For negative feedback, I guess it's some of the same stuff as earlier, more air rolls and flipping when doing low aerials to get more height and power. I also noticed I basically exclusively went for front flips when getting around the pitch instead of diagonal flips, which are actually quite a bit quicker than front flips because you spend less time in the air, I believe at least. I could have used half flips as well a few times when turning around instead of doing a full 180 with the power slide, but again I didn't have aerial bound, so I couldn't really do that. Also, the car. I don't know why I changed it again, but of course I must apologize.
I've made a severe...
So finally, let's compare it to the gameplay I've got now. Inspirational. 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 So there you have it, a small trip down memory lane, or for me at least. For the rest of you, I'm sure these videos were either gone from your memory or about as important as solo standard is for you. That is, if you even were around when I released these videos. This was fun to do though, and I don't know, honestly, when I had the time to improve as much as I did, since I played a lot of Fortnite instead for over 2.5 years, I think, with the occasional week here and there for Rocket League, but I don't know how I got to the point where I am now, but of course I'm grateful for it. I'm excited to continue climbing the ladder and maybe one day reaching Diamond, I'll see. Anyways guys, thanks so much for getting to this point in the video. If you have, like and sub if you haven't already, since I'm aiming to hit 350 subs by the end of the year. That would be great if we could do that. And it seems like 98% of you are not subscribed, so I mean, why not? It's free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. Alright, thanks guys for watching, and yeah, peace out.
Yeah, had to roll the dice and now I'm over all the lights and now they always trying to top it. I've been over their advice, now they know where I've been going. It's been over to the right, and if you really want to look, I'll be the only one to sight. Facts, stuck to the rest of my plan. I ain't no regular man, I got a hell of a brand. I'm getting up in the sky, but they leaving their head in the sand.
Yeah, I roll the dice, see where life takes me. I've been feeling down on these nights lately.